AskReddit. What just kinda disappeared without people noticing? Payphones. I never saw one get removed, yet they just disappeared. We uninstall those at night. The ones outside convenience stores are quick. If you think about it next time you're near where one used to be, then you will still see the holes. JK, I don't remove payphones. 3D TVs. I remember several years back when 3D TVs were being heavily promoted. I watched a golf tournament and an F1 car race in 3D, and it was spectacular. 3D movies I can take or leave, but I caught some of the 2010 World Cup in 3D at a Best Buy, and it was spectacular. It was a bit like watching a video game, but at the same time I very much felt like I could have been there in the stadium. The day ESPN gave up on 3D was a sad one for me. Had 3D sports taken off, I might still be a cable/satellite subscriber. I watched some of the Olympic events on my son's VR headset. It was kind of cool, but not anywhere close to the experience of the 3D TV. Taylor Lautner. I went to the same school as him elementary through high school, and he was legit bullied for being Shark Boil Mayo. Welp, seems he got the last laugh. Handsome with money. Yup, winner. Waterbeds. I scrolled through 16k comments looking for waterbeds. Didn't see it, and saw my chance. I recently went bed shopping, and found a shop with waterbeds. They're so damn comfortable, but so impractical. The shop man asked me to leave if I wasn't serious about purchasing a bed from him. Buying a new game, and having a thick chunky manual filled with game lore which you would read before playing, and so heighten the anticipation of the game itself. I remember on the drive home with the new game, opening it up, and speed reading the manual with so much excitement to start playing. Planking. I still can't believe people died partaking in a meme that was popular less than a month. The uproar around devices always listening. Xbox One Kinect was an uproar, and now you pretty much can't buy a device that isn't always listening. I think that's just a case where people who are technology savvy are wary because they're the first to see it and they understand it, but then once it spreads out into the mainstream, people either don't know or don't care. My roommate is one of those people, and I'm as well, to a lesser extent. You don't really just change your opinion on privacy. Alicia Silverstone. She was in everything in the late 90s, then she was gone. Probably wanted a family that didn't include Harvey Weinstein. Cream savers. Fuck, those were so fucking good. I don't understand why they went away. My kingdom for some goddamn orange cremes. Flash games made just for the fun of it. The younger generation probably doesn't even remember, but the 2000s were the era of flash games. There were so many games created, and practically none of them had in-game purchases. Nowadays, every single flash game has the main agenda to get you to buy its in-app purchases. I miss the days of Defend Your Castle, Stick RPG, etc. Edit. I'm a huge fan of good flash games. Here are some I recommend that aren't about in-app purchases, but are fun and challenging. Rebuild, Mothaload, Monster's Den, Creeper World, Battlecry. Congregate.com is still a great site to find them on. E2. Okay, sorry I'm being that op that keeps making edits when his comment gets popular, but I love you guys. I miss old school flash gaming. I even tried picking up ActionScript 3 a few years back and stuck with it for a long time, even though people constantly said Flash is dead/dying w/e. Makes me super happy to read all these comments and all your suggestions for great flash games. Keep the dream alive, yo. Man, Miniclip was amazing. Yeah, and Netrome Games. They had a lot of fizz on Miniclip. Are these websites still around? 3D Doritos. The year is 1998. You got your 3D Doritos and a can of Surge. You're watching Power Rangers and life is perfect. Then you decide to play either Ocarina of Time or Metal Gear Solid, depending on the console you own. Then get 5 minutes into whatever game before mom's yelling at you to go outside and play. So you ride your bike to your friend's house, knock on the door, and ask if such and such can play. Then you go inside and play video games with your friend, because Shane's parents let him play video games whenever he wants, and I wish I could go live with them mom. Paris Hilton. The Kardashians replaced her. Considering Kim was her former bestie, the progression is logical. Do you ever think she resents Kim for stealing the spotlight? Or do you think she's secretly grateful she got to drop the pretentious dumb act and concentrate on her actual business stuff? Ownership. We used to pay money and then the thing actually belonged to us. Now everything is rented or leased. Everything is sold as a service. Music as a service. Movies as a service. Software as a service. Even printer ink as a service. We spend and spend, and in the end we hold nothing in our hands. Edit. You can also subscribe to clothes. Wear new clothes every month, but never own them. You can also subscribe to cars. Clothes as a service. Cars as a service. Those in home intercom systems. Yik yak. They made it no longer anonymous and everybody bailed. It was lightning in the bottle, already on the decline, before they made usernames and stuff. It has a very fad-like appeal. To get strong daily users you need to build a network, and that also makes it more monetizable. But that clashes with the appeal of the app, so I think it was doomed for the life it had. Text speak on old cell phones, i.e. Are you going to be late tonight? I remember reading a news article in the mid-2000s that concerned parents thought their children wouldn't be able to spell because of it. Edit. We LL7H at 941 Northeast T50 Me1 N7 Air 57 P. And now parents are the only ones who still do it. Burning/copying CDs and DVDs. It was huge for a few years, but then streaming services just ate up the market so completely that no one really bothered with it anymore. Plus HDD storages, so cheap nowadays you don't need to burn your pirated movies to free up space anymore. And if you want to watch it on your TV you can do so without plopping a DVD in a player. Door-to-door sales. Owned a house for 7 years in a respectable neighborhood and not one visit, which I'm fine with. As a kid people were always coming around trying to sell stuff. Books/magazines, vacuums, knives, encyclopedias, religion, even kids selling candy and popcorn. It's all on Facebook now. Hey tiny blue stars, we haven't spoken since high school. How are you? That's awesome. Good to hear. Listen, I've got a brilliant opportunity for a smart girl like you. You work from home and can make thousands a month. CD slots in computers. I only noticed a couple months back that my current computer doesn't have one. Of course, I only needed it once in 2 years, if not longer. I recently built a new computer and my case didn't even have the option to install an optical drive. My old case had one, but I hadn't used it in at least 3 to 4 years. MP3 players, slowly replaced by phones. Video game strategy guides that you can buy in stores. Same with cheat code booklets. Edit. I understand they still sell some strategy guides for certain games, but it's not as prevalent as it used to be. I loved following my Final Fantasy guides. Also I remember going to the grocery store and looking at the cheat code magazines and writing them down on a piece of paper. Oh the good old days. Edit. Tips and motherfucking tricks. Those I love boobies bracelets. I remember when Armstrong had the yellow Livestrong ones come out, then within like a week everybody had a shitload of different colored ones all the way up their arms. The voiceover movie trailers. The original movie voice guy died, and so did that style of movie trailer. Edit. Holy shit, I didn't expect this reaction. Thank you for the gold. In a world where this summer. Any talk about the Panama Papers? Teo Cruz used to have some absolute bangers and was pretty popular at one point, but the last big video by him was like 5 years ago on YouTube. What happened to the guy? They say he bought a bunch of land somewhere. Chose the Rose Garden over Madison Square. BlackBerry phones. You're kinda right, but BlackBerries had a long slow death to the 20 people that were watching them. We had to keep supporting BlackBerry at my job for a long time into that long slow death. Phone booths and phone books for that matter. Every house always had a phone book and there were phone booths everywhere. That one year when every other commercial on TV was DraftKings. Or that year where Magic Jack commercials played 4 times in a row at once. AHH good times. Ebola. Keep in mind that it didn't become a bigger deal because a large number of really dedicated people worked hard to keep it from becoming one. Though it was the largest outbreak of that disease, it was eventually contained to a relatively small area. Very relative. It was still in multiple countries. Old school bulletin forums. There's a few still up and running that are popular. Egg. Cerebi and Poké community for the Pokémon fanbase, but they very rarely get new members. Edit. People are kinda missing the point. Yeah, there are still a fair few up and running, but they are not the go-to discussion place, like they were 10, 15 years ago. Modern social media has stolen a lot of the old posters. Also, on another note, shout out to adoptables sites, those poor relics of an era. I still visit a couple, like GPX Plus. I missed X Project, though. Those clowns that used to chase people around in 2016. That was a weird month. For more content, subscribe to Mr. Reddit.